Hey Saints, today's devotion is going to be taken from the book of 1 Samuel chapter 7, and we're continuing from last week. We're going to start from verse 5, and it reads, Then Samuel told them, Gather all of Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray to the Lord for you. I'm reading from the New Living Translation, verse 6. So they gathered at Mizpah and in a great ceremony drew water from a well and poured it out before the Lord. They also went without food all day and confessed that they had sinned against the Lord. It was at Mizpah that Samuel became Israel's judge. Verse 7, when the Philistine rulers heard that Israel had gathered at Mizpah, they mobilized their army and advanced. The Israelites were badly frightened when they learned that the Philistines were approaching. Don't stop pleading with the Lord our God to save us from the Philistines, they begged Samuel. So Samuel took a young lamb and offered it to the Lord as a whole burnt offering. He pleaded with the Lord to help Israel, and the Lord answered him. Okay, real quickly, I'm going to try to summarize this. So we talked last week about the first thing is giving up idols. The second thing is prioritizing spiritual things or prioritizing spiritual disciplines. At Mizpah, you got to get the backstory. So from the time of Eli, God hadn't really spoken to the children of Israel, to the people of Israel. It was a while that they haven't heard from God. They hadn't heard God speak. They hadn't heard the voice of God. And what was happening now when Samuel prayed, it was like a renewal. After they had gotten rid of their idols, this was Samuel praying and asking for the Lord to answer, and the Lord did answer. It's symbolized in the text where they showed that he prayed and they also poured out water in verse 6. So they gathered at Mizpah in a great ceremony. They drew water from the well and poured it out before the Lord. What that signified is water signifies life in Hebrew, okay? And pouring out the water was laying their lives before God. So what they were doing in that moment was laying out their lives before God and putting their lives in God's hands. And it also says that they fasted. So that first step of getting rid of the idols, that second step of praying, reinstituting that relationship with God, fasting, praying, pouring out water, laying out your life before God. These are the steps to get back to God. We're going to go over step 3 next week, but I hope you're blessed by this week. And remember that these are the things that will get you back to that tight relationship with God. Be blessed, saints.